Welcome to the channel. What do you think of when you hear the word crossroads? I'm sure it has different connotations depending on the generation you were born in. An older generation might lead you to think about Robert Johnson, the blues guitarist that was so good they said he went to the crossroads to meet the devil. He left with a guitar and the devil left with his soul. If you're more in the hip hop generation, you tend to think of Bone Thugs and Harmony, meet me at the crossroads. But no matter your connotation, it means primarily you come to a point in the road where you have to make a decision. Are you going to go left or are you going to go right? And that happened to me when I saw the movie Hidden Figures. I'm an engineer by trade and I had never heard of these fabulous women. And at my crossroads, I found myself asking the question, if I didn't know about them, how many other amazing Black women are out there with stories that I know nothing about? And it sent me on a path to know more. And I want to share with you why history is so important, because we tend to blow it off like we tend to blow off math and other subjects and say, am I really going to need that in my everyday life? But history affects every area of your life. If you think about it, no matter your age, it's important to know your history. History is more than just a set of names and dates or times and dates. You need to understand history in context of the how and the why. Like if you only stick to times and dates, you'll know that the Emancipation Proclamation was released and put into force in 1865. But what you don't understand is that Abraham Lincoln didn't want to do it. He wasn't against slavery. He was actually for it. But this needed to be done in order to retain the Union, which was his biggest goal. It was not about freeing slaves. History helps us to understand ourselves as well as others. It gives you a little more empathy for the poor whites who are hating and have racism against poor blacks, because we're all in the same boat. When you look at it from the standpoint is, after the Civil War, you had these bigger people that had loaves of money, but then the majority of the population was poor whites and poor blacks. And if they ever got together, that would totally destroy the upper financial strata. So what they did is they pitted poor whites against poor blacks, saying, you're white, so that makes you better than them, even though you're living in the same cities, living in the same squalor, and you both have no money and no jobs. History helps us to also develop a new level of appreciation for things like hard work, sacrifice. It gives you an appreciation for how people believed in different concepts. For example, if you look at Bessie Coleman, the first Black pilot, she couldn't find anyone in the United States to teach her how to fly. But she had this goal and this vision and this belief that she could do it. So she had to go overseas in order to get certified to learn how to fly. History gives us those things, and we need to appreciate it. And in knowing that, your present shapes the framing of the past. So if we don't have a full scope of what our past was, how can we properly frame it in our today, present tense? And how can we look forward to what can be happening in the future? Identity is a part, your identity, my identity, the identity of our children are partly defined by that past. And you can't put it in the proper framework if you don't know what your history is. There's some studies out in psychology that says that we tend to have our personality defined by us by the age of 30. But really, that's kind of skewed, because really they say that because at 30 or in your 30s, most people stop learning. Most people have these responsibilities and they're just focused on them, but they don't learn, they don't have new experiences, and they don't try new things. And I think that's part of the reason as we age and get older, being women of a certain age, we buy into the stereotypes. We stop learning, we stop growing, we stop teaching and sharing with those younger than us, and that ages us. So we're here, but we're not living. We're already dead. We're just waiting for our body to catch up. So, welcome again as you join us in this historical journey that we're taking on this channel to look at some amazing stories, to share some amazing places. So, take the time, please subscribe to this channel to join our tribe, and please turn on your notification bells. Please remember, live until you die.